Привет! Hello! Сегодня мы будем говорить о глаголах. Today we will talk about verbs. Глаголы. Сложные и простые. Хорошие, легкие и трудные. Verbs. Difficult and easy. Hard to learn and easier to learn. Глаголы очень важны. Verbs are very important. The first verb, работать, to work. About conjugations, we will learn verbs and personal pronouns together. Работать, to work. Я работаю. Ты работаешь. Он работает. I work, you work, he works. Она работает. She works. It works. Оно работает. Мы работаем. We work. Вы работаете. You work. Они работают. I advise you to always remember the last one, они, because sometimes it's really hard to guess if it's the ending yut or yat or at, etc. It's just a little tip. Знать, to know. Я знаю. Ты знаешь. Он, она или оно знает. Мы знаем. Вы знаете. Они знают. Читать, to read. Я читаю. Ты читаешь. Он, она, оно читает. Мы читаем. Вы читаете. Они читают. And the last verb for today. Последний глагол на сегодня есть. Глагол есть. The verb to eat. But there is a little thing about this verb. When we look at it as an infinitive, it really means to eat. Есть. But there is also verb to be, which is quite specific in Russian, and we'll talk about it today as well. But first of all, есть, to eat. It's a specific verb because we conjugate it differently. And you have to remember it very well. Я ем. Ты ешь. Он ест. Она ест. Оно ест. Мы едим. Вы едите. Они едят. Also remember that when we say ты and any verb, there is a soft sign in the end. We cannot hear it, but it's always written in the end, like знаешь, работаешь, ешь. The verb to be in Russian is quite specific. It's not used like in the English language. In the English language, we would say, this is a window. In Russian, we would not use is. We would say это окно. We wouldn't say это есть окно. The verb to be in Russian, infinitive, is быть. But in the present tense, it is есть for all faces. We don't use it very often as in many other languages. But we can say у меня есть. This is a very, very useful phrase. You have to remember, I have. Let's take a phrase у меня есть книга, which means I have a book. Actually, есть doesn't mean have here. It means is. If to translate it literally, a book is in my place, which means actually I own a book, I possess a book. We also omit this есть very often when we use such phrases. It's like у меня большой дом, which means I have a big house. Then you don't use есть here. What is very specific about the usage of this есть? There are a few tips you may feel later on, but for now it's just enough to understand. Like, у меня есть дом. I own a house. I possess a house. When we talk about having or possession, when we want to emphasize that, yes, I own a house, then we use this verb, есть. But if we also, there is a thing, if this thing that we possess is described more deeply, or there are adjectives added to it, like у меня большой дом, у меня большой белый дом, then we very often, mostly we omit this есть. But still, if we want to emphasize у меня есть белый дом, I own a white house, or something like that. У меня есть муж, I have a husband. У тебя is you have. У него, he has. I will give you all these forms, but for a beginner, it's enough to remember у меня есть. So, есть. The verb to be, infinitive, быть. Есть is the present form in all phases. The past form, like in many other verbs, it gets gender. We need to remember it. We'll talk about the past tenses of verbs, past forms of verbs at the second part of our lesson. And future, as well future. I will give you some forms of future. For now, one proverb that uses this word есть. Сила есть, ума не надо. If you've got a power, you don't need a mind. Like strong back, weak mind. Mind is Here it's just in the genitive case. Не надо, there is no need. Сила, strength, power. There is strength, there is power, etc. Just remember this phrase. And I also want to give you, я хочу дать вам другое выражение, another expression. Кто не работает, тот не ест. Here we have got another есть without soft sign, pay attention, без мягкого знака. Кто не работает, the one who doesn't work, does not eat. This is for today. На сегодня все. Thank you for your attention. Спасибо за ваше внимание. We will continue this lesson about verbs, and I hope you won't find it very difficult to use verbs and to get to know them little by little. Пока. Bye.